Before we continue, I'd like to give a shout out, to raise my glass, to give a standing ovation to all the pets out there, to all the cats and dogs out there, to the tabbies, to the golden retrievers. Y'all are some good boys. To those weird dogs with bad attitudes that like to bark at me whenever I walk past them. I see you big time. To all the cats on the street that let me come up to them and scratch their heads. You are very good. You're wonderful, actually. To all the kitties out there, the orange cats running all around. I owe you a car.
On the radio, you're living in the age of the beer machine. Starting on the telephone, you're living in the age of the beer machine. Starting on the TV, you're living in the age of the beer machine. Starting in the radio, you're living in the age of the beer machine.
Imagine Alice Cooper with about 1/100th the money.
If the Cramps had been a heavy metal band.
Crazy as H, blood-splattered, ear-splitting hilarity.
The Wizard of Oz meets splatter horror films.
The gag is, you're in the splash zone.
You're covered with goo and blood, and if you're not completely soaked, you didn't have a haunted garage show.
It's like going to a horror movie, except it's actually happening.
It's basically walking into the most brutal, gory film right in front of your face.
It was probably the best part of my life.
I think of him as a guy with commitment to his art.
That's Dookie. I mean, he wants to take it as far as he can take it.
You gotta see this band.
Wait a minute, are you gonna get this?
Oh, thank you.
Quarantine Dream, the newest album from Kevin Vonesper. Get it now on CD with one-of-a-kind hand-drawn covers and a bonus adventure. Featuring I Got Up Today.
To see if I'm still
Totally Fine. Pets in Quarantine. White Picket Fences. Roar.
Kevin the Pumpkin Dinosaur. Hear me roar.
Going Nowhere Fast.
Going nowhere fast.
Midnight.
Midnight 2021. As I wrote this song.
Quarantine. The VonPod theme song.
Welcome to VonPod.
And Christmas 2020. Featuring Amani Coppola, Jane Jensen, Evil Kitty Keith, Slim Jelly, Teledeck, Valerie Abbey, Abby Nex, and Cousin P as the narrator. Available now at vonesper.bandcamp.com. Get it on Bandcamp Friday.
Hello, it's me, Kevin Vonesper. I finally did it right this time, you guys. I didn't start out as a tiny box in the corner. So celebrations to me after 84 episodes. What episode is this? 85. This is our 85th episode. Done this 84 times. I finally got it right. So thumbs up to me. Hello, it's VonPod. You're watching the VonPod. And tonight we got Black Rose Burning on the show. Just somebody I met in the goth scene in New York City, taking photos. But oh my God, then I started noticing his name all over these CDs that I have that I didn't have any idea he had anything to do with. There's a music video I made for a song that he produced, so we'll get into all of that. And don't forget to join the chat because it makes it more fun if you interact with us. Tonight on the VonPod. VonPod.
Welcome to VonPod. I've got chicken heads and deli creeps, scary monsters and super creeps on VonPod. You're listening to VonPod. With aliens and skunk dogs, I hope you're here to chat along to VonPod. Welcome to VonPod. You're listening to VonPod. You're watching VonPod. VonPod.
Hello, George.
Hello, Kevin.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm releasing the Kraken.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
As I'm known for. Well, Kraken rum and ginger beer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, if I knew you were drinking, I would have made myself a drink and joined you.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I should have told you.
I know you should have, because those sometimes turn into the best episodes, you know. Obviously, after about 2 hours and everyone's a little loose, some interesting information comes out.
No, it's a school night, so I can't get too loose.
Yeah, that's true. Hello, how are you? And all right, I have a icebreaker question for you that I like to ask people.
Yes, sir.
What was your first band ever?
My first band ever. We had a little neighborhood band. It was me and like 2 other people. And basically what we did was like made up a few songs and played Rush covers or tried
Rush
to play,
covers.
tried
That's
to play
pretty ambitious.
Tried to play Rush, Black Sabbath, and Kiss.
Wow, how successful! Wait, how old were you at the time, and how successful was it?
Like 14 or 15.
Yeah,
it was garbage.
Right. I mean, Rush. That's some progressive stuff.
Well, you know, we tried.
Right.
I didn't say we succeeded, but we tried.
Which Kiss member would you have been?
Absolutely, Gene Simmons.
Yeah, the demon, right?
The total reason why I'm a musician today.
Really? Tell me about that. Tell me about Kiss influencing you.
I was a huge Kiss fan when I was a kid. I loved Kiss. They were my favorite band. I had posters everywhere, posters on the ceiling of my bedroom. Kiss was the ultimate band for me, and that was the first band I saw live. So when I saw Gene Simmons on stage, breathing fire, spitting blood, I was like, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Where was that? And what tour was that? I guess they were still in the makeup in the original.
Yeah, it was the Civic Arena, 1976. I believe it was Destroyer tour.
Wow, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
The first time I saw Kiss was in like probably 1998 or whatever, when they came back with the makeup.
Oh, really? I mean, I saw that.
It was the tour after the Psycho Circus tour, but it was the same, like the original lineup kind of thing.
I went to like a big comeback tour, and actually at Madison Square Garden, and D-Generation opened it, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, Jesse Malin, who owns a lot of cool clubs in New York City.
Yeah.
We hope he's doing well. I haven't been following. I know he had some
He had some health issues, I heard. And, you know, he was working on new music and trying to get through those health issues. So, you know, I wish him luck.
Nice. So, okay, it started with Kiss. Then when did, like, goth come into the picture? Or, like, what other kind of things branched off from Kiss?
Well, I mean, you know, I was a big metal guy for many, many years. You know, I played in death metal bands like early on. But when I really started getting into goth and really like understanding what it was, I was working at a record store in my hometown. And that's when I was getting turned on to like so much different stuff. I got turned on to Public Enemy and a lot of rap there. Like working in a record store really gets you, you know, circulating and, you know, hearing different stuff because everybody had their own playtime. So, you know, somebody would play a record and then somebody else would play a record. Like everybody had designated time. So that's really when I started getting into and understanding goth. You know, but I was a big metalhead for a long, long time.
What were your big metal bands?
Oh, you know, all that. Priest, Dio, you know, and then later on it became like Bathory and Celtic Frost and, you know, of course, Metallica in the early days. you know, it just got more and more extreme until I was just like, okay, I can't do this anymore. You know, it started out like mainstream metal, and then it just got more and more extreme. And then there's just a point where, like, musically, I changed so much that I just didn't want to hear it anymore. Like, I moved on to other things, goth being one of them, jazz a little bit, a lot of country and western, old school country and western. You know, I had a background with like Motown and Stax and stuff like that from my parents. So like eventually it just became a little silly to me. Although, you know, there's still albums that I love. There's still great albums. And, you know, Celtic Frost to Megatheron is a classic. Slayer, Rain and Blood, it's a classic. It'll never be bad. But, you know, it's just, to me, it's a little silly now.
Yeah.
You know,
I recently had a random gig taking photos at a honky tonk bar in Brooklyn.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I wasn't sure what to expect, you know, coming from the scenes that we were in, kind of like, okay, I'm entering like the country. How's that gonna go? And it was actually really awesome. And the band playing, like the singer had like black nail polish on, and like some of their songs were more metal than country.
Oh, right on.
And I want to ask you, what would you so someone who doesn't come from that world, like what would you recommend? How would you get into country, or how would you recommend me getting into that?
Oh, getting into country? I mean,
Well, like
I don't.
your favorites, like what would you introduce someone to first?
I mean, I don't really listen to anything new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no new country that I listen to. I probably don't listen to.
Yeah.
I probably don't listen to any country that's probably past 1965.
Well,
to be
that's fine.
honest, you know, it's you know,
outlaw
Hank
stuff,
Hank
probably.
Williams, stuff like that. You know, like let me think offhand who else I've listened to recently. You know, I listen to a lot of Hank. I listen to, you know, I can't think offhand, but a lot of more of older school, you know, like Conway Twitty, Charlie Pride, like the older school is what I really enjoy.
Cool. Hello, Russell. Welcome to VonPod. Um, then okay, how and when did you discover punk rock? And do you remember your first punk rock show?
I do. Well, I don't remember my first punk rock show. I more remember my first punk rock time, like my first punk rock era. And there was a club in Pittsburgh called the Electric Banana. It's pretty famous because you know, the rumors circulated that if the owner didn't like your band, he would pull a gun on you and not pay you. Johnny
that
Banana.
true?
It's, I mean, I've heard it to be true. He's never done it to me, but
Right.
you know, for the longest time, they were the people who like basically nurtured the punk scene. Judy, his wife, just passed away recently, but him and her basically fostered the punk scene, and I saw an incredible amount of punk bands there. You know, everybody from GBH to Agnostic Front to Black Flag. I mean, all seminal punk bands, Fang. That's really where I got my punk rock education. I was also working at the store, so I was hanging around with a lot of punks as well. And the guy who worked at our store was the lead singer of like Pittsburgh's biggest punk band. They were called Half Life, and I'm still friends with him today, the singer. And you know, it was a good scene, and I was probably involved heavily in that scene for years. And then, you know, I ended up moving to New York through people that I met also, and you know, I didn't really hang out at CB's or anything, but nah, none of that. I mean, by that time I was like, you know, I was going to Cat Club, and like I was going to like more glam and more goth type things at that point. I wasn't really like down into hardcore as much and into punk as much as I was into starting to get into other scenes because I was in New York at that point.
Right on. Hello, Scarlet Medusa from the Thunderdome, eh?
Hey, Russell. Hey,
Hello.
hey, Serena.
You are the man in black, rose burning.
Johnny Cash is a good one.
I only caught CBs at the very end because of my age and location. But I did get to see the Bad Brains there, and that was a pretty cool thing to be able to say.
That would be excellent.
Yeah,
I never saw the Bad Brains.
Ever? Really?
Never saw them.
Wow. Well, they're still around, sort of, sometimes.
I know HR's playing here, I think soon.
Yeah, I've seen him
somewhere.
Yeah, go see HR. He's just comes out with an acoustic guitar and does that kind of thing. But
well, I really dig his Human Rights record, the one with the white cover.
Right.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I don't know if I've ever listened to it, but
it's on SS. It was on SST. It's really good.
Nice. I'll check that one out. HR, yeah, legend. I mean, God, I wish I saw him back in the day doing flips off of the wall at CBGBs and all that.
Yeah,
he wasn't quite as crazy when I saw him. He was more like, hello, hello, hello. You know, very quiet dude. I had filmed an interview with him once too. Very quiet, like almost didn't even pick up on the microphones.
Right on.
Yeah, but
I mean, CB's. I've seen AF there. You know, I've seen a few. You know, because I used to work at Combat Relativity Records, so every once in a while, somebody from there would play. You know, I saw AF there. Who else did I see there? Sheer Terror, like a lot of the stuff on In Effect Records, 24/7 Spies also I saw there, but I didn't really hang at CB's that much. I was more like a Limelight Cat Club kind of guy.
Ooh, tell me about the Lime. See, that's another thing I missed. I went in there once as a mall, and I used to work across the street from it basically, but I never caught it as a club. Tell me about some of the highlights of the Limelight for you.
It was just a wild place. I mean, you know, like on Tuesday nights, my friend Neville had something. On Sunday nights, my friend Pamela had something, which was like the rock and roll night. Neville had like the more goth alternative night. And it was just a crazy place. Like everybody came out. It was like, it's not like New York now. Like people go out, but they used to go out every night then, like every single night. You know, Michael T would be there. Yeah. Like it was crazy. It was insanity.
We've had Tim on the show twice.
Oh, really?
Go check it out. Yeah.
I mean, you know, that Webster Hall, he used to do a party upstairs. Like, you know, every night of the week there was somewhere to go, and people came out and they stayed out late. You know, this is like from the mid 90s, early 90s until probably the early 2000s. I can remember that being pretty vibrant. Limelight was gone by then, though.
Yeah. What are some of the cool bands you saw there?
Oh, at Limelight? Oh, I saw so many bands. I saw Wasp there. I can't even tell you how many bands. The Circus of Power. I can't even remember all the bands. Every Sunday night they would have a band. Either they'd have a local band or they'd bring in a national. And you had to be there every Sunday night for the party. So I can't even tell you how many bands I saw there.
Did you ever get to play there?
I played there quite a few times. Yeah. Okay. I played there with a band I had called Monster Zero, of which my drummer in Black Rose Burning, Lewis, we were in that band together.
Well, that answers one question I have.
Which is?
Whoa, how did you meet Lewis? Well, we're going to get into Black Rose Burning later. We could skip around a little bit.
Well, I had a band in mind, an all black rock band, like around the time Living Color, but not like funky, like straight ahead, hair metal type rock and roll. You know, no funk, no jazz, no straight ahead. So I ended up hooking up with this guitar player I knew named Kevin, who was like an amazing shredder guy, black kid. Lewis, who I went to an audition, and I saw him with a bunch of other guys, and I was like, yeah, nah, I got to get this guy. So I stole him from a band, and then we found a singer, and we were basically like an all black white lion.
Okay.
Like cool. Everybody looked good and wore fringe and blah, blah, blah. And it was, you know, everybody could play and it just had the right vibe, but it was an all black band. And I think that gave us a lot of trouble back then early on.
Really? Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Well, I mean, somebody said
good trouble or not really.
Nah, somebody said, "Oh, we, you know, like a bunch of labels were looking at us, but they all were saying, well, we wouldn't know what to do with you." And we're like, promote us like you promote any other band.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? And it just got weird, and then we ended up going our separate ways. But that's how I met Lewis. I stole him from another band.
As you do.
30 some years ago.
You got kicked out of the limelight.
I did.
Well, no, no. Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did too.
Oh, okay. Were you together?
No,
No.
no,
All right,
totally
Scarlett,
different
next time I
times.
see you, I'm gonna ask you about that.
It
Why did
wasn't
you get
hard.
kicked out?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I was hanging out with some girl, and some dude kept bothering her, and it came down to a fight, and I picked a bottle up off the bar,
Oof.
and I just got stormed by bouncers, and I was out. That was it. I was
Fair
only
enough.
I was only 86 for that moment. There's some other stuff to the story that I don't want to go into, but
Fair
I
enough.
was I was only I was only 86 temporarily.
Right. And this is a good thank you, Scarlet Medusa. You're gonna segue me into my next topics. Do you have more years under your belt producing than performing, or the other way around?
I've performed way more than producing, and I learned how to produce so I could stop paying people to be in my pocket. That's really why I have a studio now, why I produced myself and other people, is because I was just like, every time I want to do something, I got to pay somebody. And this was before, the advent of home recording, or you could just pull out your laptop and your Apollo and record stuff. Like, I started on a 4-track demoing people. And then it became 8 tracks, then 16, then 24.
I
And I
remember
just
them
I
all,
just
yeah.
learned along the way, that's all. But I was just like, I'm not paying anybody to do this. I better figure it out for myself.
And was it always Planet Gray Studios, or did you have different studios
It
over
was
the
always
years?
Planet Gray, but it's been in different places.
Right. And how did you get that name?
I'm just like it totally into the whole space alien thing, and that's been for a long time. That's not something new, and
Right.
I just like I like the feel of the name, so it's been the studio name for years.
Nice. So yeah, I went on Discogs. And I don't know how accurate this is, so I guess we'll see. But we'll
Yeah.
pull up a couple things that you've worked on, or whether you've been in it or you've produced it. You can tell me some stories if there are any. What's Young Lust?
That was the very first band that I played a bar in.
Okay.
And there was a singer in my hometown. He was an older guy, Vietnam vet, who was kind of crazy. His name was Bobby Porter. But man, could this guy sing. I still patterned some of the way I sing off of this guy. He could hold a room. He would get on a bar and do backflips off the bar. Like, he was really like a great singer and an energetic performer. And I played with him, I was probably 16. And I had to have a note from my dad to actually get into the bar to play. They would call my dad from this note and say, "Is this your son? Is he able to play here?" Because I couldn't even get into bars at the time.
Right.
And that kind of cut my teeth on like playing in a live band at a bar. But I was only 16, so
What kind of band was this?
it was kind of a weird funk rock kind of thing. I mean, I'd say the closest thing I can think of now to it would probably be Devo.
Okay. Were you big into Devo? Did you see the documentary on
I,
Netflix?
I have I have now I
Yeah.
completely understand Devo. When I was 16, I didn't get it. I understand now what he was doing, but he's like, no, just play what you feel. You know what I mean? Like he was that kind of guy. So, I was playing songs that I didn't even know were covers.
Mm.
He had a unique way of looking at things, but he was a fantastic performer, and he was a great singer.
Is he doing anything now? Or?
Unfortunately he passed away maybe 5 to 8 years ago. I'm not sure exactly. I hadn't really seen him, probably in 30 years.
Right.
But yeah, he took me to my first bar event and let me play on a bar stage.
Nice. Let's see. What is this?
That
Necropolis. And oh man, I forgot to bring it out, but I have the VHS tape of the movie Future Kill, if that's what this was named after.
Absolutely. This was my first well-known metal band in Pittsburgh. I would say you would call it thrash.
Mhm.
It was with one of my really good friends, Spar Schmidt. And basically this was a 4-track demo that we did in my apartment at the time. And it's straight up thrash metal. But this we're talking. This was like '85. You
Right.
know what I mean?
They were
Like,
even recording back then, huh?
yeah, there was hardly any like thrash around then.
Yeah, do you still have those original tapes and stuff?
No, I don't have them anymore.
Aw,
I think my friend Spar may have it. He's
okay.
been like the record keeper kind of the Pittsburgh metal scene. So
Let's get a Necropolis special edition coming out. Remix,
every
Athletic
once in a
Great
while,
Studio.
every once in a while, somebody says, "Oh, hey man, I'd like to put your demos from Necropolis together and put out a record." And I'm always like, "Dude, no." You know
No,
what I
why
mean?
not?
Like, they sound terrible.
Yeah, but it's
This,
history.
yeah, it is
Was there
history.
more demos
It
than
is
this one?
history. There was a second demo as well, with I
Okay,
think another 6 songs.
nice. Oops. Oh yeah. So like, hold on. Before I get into this one, I always wanted to tell a fun story related to the documentary I'm making about the movie Future Kill. It's the drummer in the band Haunted Garage that I'm making a documentary about. That he had a band that was performing in the movie Future Kill called Max and the Makeups.
Oh, really?
And I was like, I couldn't believe I had to find this out for myself. I'm like, how did you not tell me about this in our first interview? And now it's part of the story because they're a very like B movie type of band. And anyways, I have an excuse to use Future Kill, the original movie, in my documentary. So that's very
Nice,
cool.
nice.
Yeah. So this is the next one. Yeah, and I actually have this one, if you can believe it. Look at this.
Wow,
Yeah. Well, hey, Discogs, you can get stuff almost anything you
wow.
want there. Tell me about this band.
That was a band I was in with.
1994. Wow.
Yeah, that was a band I was in that was like, I would say, super power pop. Uh, I
Right.
really
Yeah.
didn't write anything on this record, and the second record died before we actually got it. Another band that record labels were looking at, and people were talking about signing us, and we had a
Mhm.
big to do, and it just never really
Your
happened.
New York power pop.
And we were like in the same scene with like New York Loose, Degeneration,
Mhm.
the Brags, Radio Zero, good friends of ours who are another good band. So there was like a burgeoning power pop thing going on in New York, and it just never kind of went all the way.
Yeah.
And a few bands got signed as usual when somebody thinks they can make money off of something that's about to happen. But for the most part, it just fizzled out. And the singer, I'm not really friends with him anymore.
Okay.
But the guy was a good writer and he was a good guitar player.
I want to hear some of your thrash stuff at AMOC next year.
Come again?
Russell wants you to play some Necro at AMOC next year.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so, Russell.
All right. Okay. So this is, of course, you did a lot of albums with Voltaire.
I did, and I played bass with him as his live bassist for probably about 5
I have
years
at
as
least
well.
one of them. I know I had a couple, but I may have sold them. How did you meet Voltaire? And
Well,
tell
the
me all
guy
about
from
that.
the guy from that band, the Living Daylights, used to give guitar lessons, and he was giving Voltaire guitar lessons. He was giving a lot of people behind the scenes, like people you wouldn't believe. He was giving guitar lessons, but Voltaire happened to say, he was an animator at the time, and he's like,
Right.
"Hey, I want to do music or whatever." And those two were friends, so Voltaire started taking a few lessons from this guy David, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to go down and see one of my students. His name is Voltaire." So I was at the very first Voltaire show.
Holy crap! Wow.
Yeah.
Where was that?
It was CB's, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
CB's. I mean, back then he couldn't play worth anything.
Right.
I mean, he's great now, but
Yeah.
he was just learning. I mean, he literally had an eel in a bucket and had somebody put their hand in the bucket and pull the eel out. Like, it was mostly gags.
Mhm.
But
He is a funny dude.
the guy's innovative and he's smart, and he just got better and better until he got to where he is today, and he's great. And at some point, we became friends and we hung out a little bit, and I had a little studio on 5th Street in Manhattan, between, I think it was between 2nd and 3rd. And I invited him over, and then, things just rolled from there.
And you're still producing him now, all right? Or are you?
No. He's moved on to bigger and greener pastures.
Right.
He's working with like some of Bowie's people and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And it's a natural progression. I don't bear him any ill will.
No.
We had plenty of good times, and we're still friends.
Yeah, I
we
still
meet.
see you guys together at parties.
Yeah, we meet up. Sometimes we go to dinner or whatever. I mean, I spent a lot of time with the guy. You know what I mean? I think I produced and worked on, probably paid based on most of them, probably eight albums of his.
Yeah. And this is another question I was going to lead into, but of course we have Brian Viglione on some of these recordings, and he also plays drums on a bunch of my stuff, including the stuff I'm working on right now. My illusion of a band, Pop Perversion. Everyone go follow at Pop Perversion, and eventually there will be music. I swear to you that it does exist. Is that the first time meeting him, or did you know him from before?
I met him through Voltaire, through doing sessions with Voltaire, and he actually played drums on the cover of Shout that Black Rose Burning did.
Right, yeah, I'm going to get to that for sure.
Always a cool dude. We've gone to a couple shows together and hung out. The sweetest guy you could ever imagine. Definitely deserves every bit of his success because he's just as good of a drummer as he is a person.
Yeah, absolutely. I met him because I saw the Dresden Dolls before they blew up. They were playing just bars with stages that are about this far off the ground where they could hardly even fit on the stage.
Right.
And I was there, And then he joined the World Inferno Friendship Society, and I know there's some connection there.
Right.
Did you ever go see them, or how did you?
World Inferno?
Yeah, like what's your
I never really knew about him until our old guitar player Frank started playing with them, and he's like, "Oh, you got to come and check these guys out. You would really like it." And World Inferno, I call them like the biggest New York band that nobody ever knew about.
Yeah,
they would fill a place twice in a day. They'd have a matinee and then refill it at night.
That first time I saw them was a 2-show day at the knitting factory, the old knitting factory on Leonard Street.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them at Brooklyn Bowl.
Oh, the Halloween show.
Afternoon,
I wasn't
and then
there because I was at the Dresden Dolls show.
Oh shit! All right.
I was Brian's exclusive press access for that show. And I was like, damn it, I gotta miss Inferno, but this is pretty cool too.
Well, I just saw them do some remarkable things, and I mean, the singer was legendary. Legendary swank guy, and
did you know him at all, or
I went out, hung out with him a few times, but I didn't really know them. I just knew Frank, and I knew the prior guitar player Lucky, just from the same bar scene or whatever, and I knew that Brian had played with them, but I think he didn't play with them at that point.
No, he was, because I was seeing him play that night.
Yeah. But that's my tie-in with World Inferno. Frank played with them for a couple of years. He did a bunch of touring with them, but I've known Frank.
That's the next thing I'm going to get into. I bought this at a World Inferno show because if I don't know what it is and it's on the merch table, like I'm buying it, and it ends up this is one of your bands with Frank, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Tell me about the Serpentines and like horror punk. What's your association with horror punk?
Well, I started the Serpentines with another guy back in 1995, and I'll be clearly honest. The people that inspired me to do Serpentines are the Brickbats.
Oh wow!
When I was talking to Corey, and I was like, that's a cool idea, and so on and so forth, and I started thinking, hey, this is like cool. Like, I love horror punk. I love this kind of stuff. And so then I started Serpentines with another guy. Frank came along much later. He probably came 10 years later. But, it wasn't a super prolific band. I mean, we had a name. I wrote most of the songs. And then Frank came in and he started writing about half the songs. And that's really my musical. I've been in other bands with Frank. Like I was in a R&B band, not an R&B, but like a Motown type band with Frank. Like, we've played in a lot of stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
And and a funny story about Frank is I met Frank at a bar called the Raven on the Lower East Side. It was pretty famous. It was first Avenue A and like 12th Street. And we're talking, and we became friends, and blah blah blah. And like 2 years later, I was like, yeah, I used to be in this band Monster Zero, the one I was telling you about earlier with Louis. And he's like, that was you? And I was like, what do you mean that was me? He was like, me and my friend, the very first night we came down from Canada, we went to check out this band, and it was you guys, but I didn't know it was you. Wow. And he was like, holy shit, how good is this band? This is like unbelievable. And this is what he was saying to me, but it was like we have been friends for years.
Right.
And he never knew that it was me that he saw his very first night he came down from Canada.
That's wild.
Yeah, I was like, that's one of those really weird things.
Did that band ever record anything, Monster Zero?
Just a demo.
Yeah, and was it
Just
like a
demo.
horror sort of thing, or?
No, it was a straight up like, hair metal thing.
Yeah. I'm going to show this picture I took at Red Party when you guys were a trio. I felt so stupid. I took this picture, and then I didn't realize until I went home that was Frank from World Inferno, who I had seen play in that band probably at least 10, 15 times. And as I would have had a conversation with him about it. But
Right.
I was just like, oh, man, I feel stupid now.
I mean, he's like one of, I've known him for so long. Like, he can read me like a book. If I need to get something done on guitar, I just say, like there's just key words I have for him. It's so easy. And he always comes through. He, I have a good musical psychic link with him.
Is he doing anything these days or what?
Well, he started his own project, and he's been working on a record, but he's not ready for it yet. He's been taking care of some family business and whatnot. So he's kind of like working and doing that. He's been working on this record, but it's not ready yet.
Yeah. Seems like every band you've backed or created, your music transitions to almost a different genre seamlessly. Something other bands would find complex. Is that through life changes or personal growth?
I just like music, like
a lot of different kind of music.
And I like to put my interpretation of what I think that music should sound like. Like somebody dared me and said, "Hey, you can't do a soul record, like an old school soul record." And I did one, and I threw in some country elements with that as well. I only did. It's George Grant and the Mighty Templars.
Oh.
But it's a straight up soul. It's a straight up like pop Motown soul record.
I knew about that one. Is it available anywhere?
No, I don't think it's for sale anymore.
Huh.
It was 2014 when I did that, and somebody dared me, and I did it. And I think the record came out pretty good, and people who hear it that like that kind of stuff think it's pretty good. Although the guys at Daptone said we have a like for this, like we like Huey Lewis. Which that's okay by me because I like Huey Lewis. You know what I mean?
He was very popular, so that sounds good to me.
Like,
he could be an American Psycho.
I mean, it was kind of an insult because they didn't.
Right, I get it.
They didn't think it was real soul. You know what I mean? Right. But it's a pop record, and I don't care. I write pop music, and I don't care.
Right, exactly. Pop music can be interpreted into any genre, and I am a testament to that as well. Like, no matter what kind of song I write, it's just going to sound consistent because of the sounds that I use.
Exactly.
Whether it's a pop or a grindcore song, whatever.
And since I began singing, you can immediately, or at least the friends around me in various bands or whatever, can tell it's me.
Right, exactly.
It stands out from amongst, a lot of the other things that are going on.
I want to go back to horror punk for a second because,
sure.
Well, first of all, how long has the Brickbats been a band? I don't really know their history.
I discovered them in like 1995. So
wow, and that was always Corey's band, or
it's always Corey's band.
Okay,
it was Corey, DW, and back then they had a bass player named Paul.
I never saw them until that show recently.
Until Murder Crows?
Yeah, the pre-party. Yeah.
Wow, no, they've been around a long time.
I've seen him in other bands, of course.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to bring this up along with it, Mr. Monster. Jason was in a band with me once.
Oh, really? What
Yeah.
was that band?
It was well, he was just a temporary member. He played drums with us twice. We were called Skeletal Life. It's Tom who makes the Fangs band.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
were mostly a Misfits cover band, but we had
Yeah,
some
yeah.
original. And he subbed in for us. And then for a while, my singer from Von Esper, Jess O'Lantern, was singing with us, and she now is guest stars on Voltaire Records. So it's all like full circle.
Right. I mean, Jason, when he heard what I was doing with the Serpentines, he approached me about working with him, and he was young, man. He
must have been right, yeah.
Yeah, he was real young.
He joined that Misfits crew.
We used to make fun of him and call him we used to call him unpolitically correct at this point, but we used to call him our retarded little brother.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You know what I mean? And I produced his first 2 or 3 demos.
That's great.
And he was a quick learner, and he was a good songwriter, and he eventually figured out what he needed to do it for himself,
Sure.
which is great. But unfortunately, he passed away probably before he made some of his best music. He was very young.
Yeah, I wanted to say R.I.P. Jason, and I think the last time I talked to him, he was playing in Argyle Goolsby's band, and he was talking to me about maybe making some music videos with him and stuff. So,
well, the last time I saw him perform, he subbed on bass for Brickbats.
Okay, yeah.
So there's another. Yeah.
Always in that horror community.
Well, the Misfits did, in my opinion, steal a song from him. So
really, which one?
Saturday Night.
Oh, really? I hate that song.
Yeah, but he wrote it originally as a song called "Oh Amy," and I had demoed that. I had demoed that with him 2 years before it came out on American Psycho. So
on Famous Monsters.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, Famous Monsters.
Yeah.
And he was, he was like, well, and I was like, dude, they ripped you off 100%. If you hear
they definitely know him. He was like their roadie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They ripped him off.
Oh man. Well, there's a lot. Well, did you ever have any history with the Misfits? Because I mean, I think horror punk is so funny because the genre sort of started like when the Misfits came back, I feel like, but I feel like the spirit of the genre should be the original 70s Misfits, and it's usually not.
I mean, like I said, when I worked in a record store, I had all the Misfits singles, Halloween, all that. I mean, I was a big Misfits fan because of the horror part of it also. Right. And I've never dealt with any of those guys.
Right.
I'm probably better off.
That's fine. Yeah, that's okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's skip to this one because I have a personal involvement in it. And I'll just show it here because I have it on wax, X Possibles.
I know Tibby. Yeah, sure.
Of course. How did you meet her and get involved with that?
Well, tendrils reach out and people say, oh, you should go check this guy out and work with him or whatever. I knew Tibby from like the Continental scene and from the Raven scene. She used to be a DJ there. And, we were just like casual friends. I mean, we're not super great friends now, but, we're friends. We're more than acquaintances. And she was working on a record and or some demos with the drummer from Degeneration who also played with Monster Magnet. And the guy from King of Kings, I forget the kid's name, who passed away. Know. And so she said, hey, would you be interested in working with us on this? And I always gave people fair deals. So I would get a lot of people, I got the side project for Paul from Reagan Youth.
Dust Angel.
Dust Angel. I did some work with them, and it was all just people who knew each other and said, "Hey, go check him out. He gives you a fair deal, and it sounds good." And that's really how I worked with Tibby.
Dust Angel stuff.
Yeah, I think I did like the first demo or the first 2 demos.
Okay. Did you know X Possibles like before they reformed to do this? Because this was like a
Yeah, I knew them when they used to play the Continental back in the day.
I saw them at ABC No Rio once.
Oh,
like in 2002.
Yeah, this was. I knew them like slightly before that.
Mm-hmm. I was young. I was really young.
I'm sure you were. Yeah. I was probably still old by then.
Yeah. I was like 20 years old, probably. Well, anyways, I want to show. We can talk over it, but I don't know if you ever saw this music video. But I made a music video for a song on this record, and I had no idea until I met you later that you had anything to do with it. Oops.
Yeah, I've never seen this.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. We just filmed it at Timmy's apartment. We've had a bunch of weirdos show up.
Oh, was Charles there? Was there like people in the tub with goat's head masks on and stuff?
That's a different video, but I also made that video.
I know that video.
Oh, really?
That's weird.
Did you have anything to do with producing that song?
I don't remember if I produced that song or not, but I do remember the video.
So yeah, Charles Lincoln tells me that he's been a guest on this show a couple times.
Right.
He started wanting to be a filmmaker because of that music video experience. So I will credit myself for his entire career.
Well, I actually produced his band's record as well.
Oh, really? Which one was that?
I forget the name of his.
It's like his metal band?
Yeah, something Imperium. I forget the name of it.
Didn't Tibby do guest vocals on one of those?
Yeah, yeah. So I did his record also.
That? That's funny.
Yeah, I've never seen this video, but I've seen the other one that you did.
Yeah, so I did a whole bunch of work with Tibby.
Right on.
Yeah, we've
she's
been
in Philly
for like 20 years.
She's in Philly now, I guess, right?
Yeah, she's in Leftover Crack now.
Oh, right on.
The singer.
Right on.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in that band yet, although I've seen Leftover Crack in the past. Yeah, she's doing well, it seems like. This guy was funny. Just had him in the middle of the street. Anyway, so I made a music video for a song that you recorded.
Nice.
How hilarious is that? Uh-oh, that's my real name. Got to get that out of there.
Yeah, I knew Tibby way before 2010.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I guess we could talk about your band Black Rose Burning now.
I guess.
Now that we're like 40-something minutes into this thing. How did Black Rose Burning come about? And is this like your, I guess it's your main project now, but did you ever have like a main project before this that was this consistent?
That I personally did. Well, Serpentines
yeah, like you're like the primary.
Serpentines was pretty consistent, and after I really got bored with doing a lot of stuff for that, I said, I don't really feel like making music. So there was a period in there where I didn't really do much. Like, I spent more time like messing around with video and stuff like that. As opposed to like making music. And then I ended up getting into a friend's band, and I thought they had great music. And, I thought there was a concept there. And then we ended up falling out. And I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood to make music now because these guys got me back into it. So I'm just going to do something where I don't have any gods, no masters, no one calling the shots but me. And in 2018, I just, put together the first Black Rose Burning record.
So you said the word, and I want to follow up on it. Concept. Is Black Rose Burning a concept band in any way?
I believe it is.
Because that's like my main focus of like, I love talking to people about concept bands and albums. So tell me about that.
I mean, it's just, love won, love lost in outer space. That's my thing. When I write, that's generally what I write about. And, science fiction encompasses a lot of that, which is a big part of my personal being. And it's just an outlet to get my soul out in some music, you know what I mean? I've been doing it since I was 15, so it's like a thing, it's like a process, it's like a release, I would say.
So, I mean, I want to start in the middle here a little bit. Not your newest album, but your last album, Ad Astra. Because last time I saw you at Berlin, you were talking about how this was sort of a concept album and something about the first song and the last song.
Right.
I felt like this was something that you should be talking about more on a forum like this than, I'm sure there was more to say than that. The time you had on stage between songs. So I would love to hear what that was all about.
Well, the Latin phrase ad astra per aspera means to space with difficulty as a phrase. So the first song on the record is called Ad Astra, The rest of the stuff is sandwiched in between, and the last song is called Perispera. So that is basically a journey to space with difficulty, but it's a play on the Latin phrase ad astra perispera.
Gotcha. And so do each album have its own concept sort of thing within the concept, or not really?
Not really. I mean, I write about science fiction a lot. That's conceptual enough for the most part.
Conceptual, like Rush. Is Rush a concept band?
And some of the records are.
Right, I guess
like
so.
2112 is, Hemispheres for the most part is. I mean, and they're probably my favorite band of all time.
Have you ever considered performing one of the Black Rose Burning new album's songs a cappella? What are you trying to do here?
I could probably get away with some of my songs a cappella. Like do you remember the a cappella version of Yes, Leave It?
No, but I believe you.
It probably has 100 tracks of just vocals.
Right. So it'd be kind of like
little
a Queen
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, which I think is pretty cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, I wouldn't ask you to do it here solo, but I imagine with layering, that could be very cool.
Absolutely.
Scarlet Medusa, do you have any tracks in mind for that? Giving it a darker sense. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. I have all your album artwork here we can go through. We have so that was the first album, right?
That was the first album.
Yeah. And then some of your singles here. Who does all this artwork?
Well, all the artwork you saw up till now, I did.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we got to the second record, this record, which is our second record, or my second record, our second record, The Wheel, that was done by Eshmoon DM. Antonella. I just happened to meet her online through like the chats and Twitch and everything, and I liked her work, and I said, hey, I want you to like start doing our artwork for us. So she's done this record, the next one, and the newest one.
Nice.
She's done the cover artwork for, and it's nice to have like a consistent, and her artwork's growing. You can see as the records go on, her artwork is growing as well. So it's nice to grow with the artist.
For sure. And of course, I don't want to skip over this just to make a shout out to your shout cover with Brian Viglione and Aka from Long Lost, of course, who I guess
Alex and Andrew, Hallowed Hearts, James Perry, Ashes Fallen. I put together an all-star lineup.
I've met all these people, I think, through working for Red Party.
I think you have, actually.
And of course, Brian, and what prompted this with all the guests on it?
Well, I wanted to cover Shout, but I said, I want to make it not much different, but different enough from the original that has more of an impact. And, I just called people up and said, hey, you want to get involved? Hey, can you get involved? Hey, you want to get involved? And, it just worked out so perfectly to me.
Was this like a pandemic project kind of thing?
Yeah, it was kind of like during the pandemic.
Gotcha.
And everybody just gave me their tracks back. I cut them up, got everybody their solo spots, and it's just one of those things, that just worked out by providence.
Yeah.
It's just like everything fell into place and it just happened, and it ended up being great.
When I was a young boy in the 80s and I knew that song, I always got them and the Depeche Mode confused because I thought they sounded similar.
That particular song
could be like a Depeche Mode song.
It definitely has a Depeche Mode feel.
Yeah, okay, so I'm not crazy in that.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, it's like that and Enjoy the Silence, and I was like, that's the same band, right? We got some more stuff here. Very cool. Okay, Ad Astra, yes. And
all
this is the new record, right?
All Eshmoon's artwork.
Yeah, there's the new album.
That's the new album.
So now you don't even have text on your album covers. You're just like, fuck it.
It's like that's like Led Zeppelin 4.
Yeah, right.
There's no band name, no title on the front.
And of course, I got to. What a great picture! I wonder who took that.
Yeah. I wonder who.
Yeah. Even though
We had a fun day that day.
Yeah, I appreciate and you asking me to do that. And this is a call out to any bands. I'm available to do photography for you. I was a little worried that day because my lens was failing. I've since gotten a new one, but I think that was the last time I ever used that lens.
Oh, really? Well, we got a bunch of good ones. That I felt was like the one that was most representative. But we got a bunch of good ones that
I wanted
day.
to show a couple outtakes if that's cool.
Yeah, sure.
I like this one because it has me in it. I guess it's kind of hard to photograph this helmet. Where does this helmet come from?
I mean, it's just always been a part of the Black Rose Burning concept. Like from day one,
Mhm.
there was always like this helmeted.
Make this, or
Oh, this helmet?
yeah,
I think I ordered it from somewhere like maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
it was almost impossible to photograph without having me in the photo.
Yeah, no, we couldn't do it.
We visited, what is this thing called? The Vessel?
The Vessel.
What a weird thing to put in the middle of New York.
I agree.
Yeah. And I like this one because I got myself into it as well. Even though it's a terrible angle, but the reflective surfaces were nice. Yeah, all right. Let's see. Anything else coming up for you? Oh yeah.
Oh,
here's
Russell asked me how did I meet James of Ashes Fallen. He was actually coming here for either an anniversary or Michelle's birthday because she had never been to New York before. And I said, hey, well, why don't we take you guys out to dinner while you're here, me and my wife? And then Sean said, hey, I want to go too. So it ended up being me, my wife, Tony, those two guys, and Sean and Mondana, and we just went out to dinner. And that was really like the first time I hung out with James.
Nice.
I'd spoken to him a little bit online or whatever, but that was really the first time we like bonded, so to speak. And we've been friends ever since. Like when we were out in California, they put us up at their home instead of having us get a hotel. And, when they're here, take them to dinner. Like, good friend, nice guy, and a nice couple.
Yeah, and I remember them always being very cool to me when they were here in New York playing. So here, let me just show some pictures I took of you guys over the years, I guess now. You are so happy on stage. Why are you so happy on stage? It's bad for the brand.
I love it. That's my 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah. How do you get the bass drum to light up like that? Is that a little trick that you do?
That's all Lewis. I wish he was here to explain it.
Yeah, me too. And if you guys have any last minute questions in the chat for George, get them in now. I had to get these these cakes in here.
Yeah, it was my last birthday.
Yeah. They had a cake for me on my birthday and I couldn't even make it because it was a giant snowstorm that day and I couldn't drive.
Oh man.
Yeah, but yeah, the Red Party, you guys, every second Saturday at the Mercury Lounge. Come get your pictures taken by yours truly. This is the picture you've been using. I didn't realize it was from the Red Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm looking kind of angry there. Scarlet Medusa. Yes, I would consider remixing a song. Some people have wanted to remix retro. I've already given out some stems.
Ooh. Give me some stems.
I'd remix anybody who would be interested in a remix. I don't do it that often, but I've done it for Corey on his side project. I've done it for Black Angel. I've done a remix for them. I don't really do a lot of remixes. I do more if I got offered.
Yeah, so I've offered him a remix, and hey, if you got stems, send them to me too.
Oh, that's cool, Russell. I didn't know that. I will send them to you, Kevin. I didn't know that, Russell. That's good to know.
Nice. I wanted to talk about this song from the new album. Actually, I'll play a little piece of it. Retro. Is this the new single?
That's going to be the next single. I'm working on the video now.
I think this is my favorite song on the record. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, everybody seems to think it's about the Red Party that I go to every month with Sean and Mondana.
Where
it's
I
not.
am the resident photographer.
It's really about any goth party. This is what it feels like to me. Most of the time people are going to that type of party to dance. They're just like, oh, I wish this band would get over. And sometimes you know, like, I'm like, is that there's more to it than that. I like to say to people, there's like, there's bands, there's camaraderie, there's talk, there's, like, I go there mostly to socialize.
Yeah, you're
My
usually in your little back corner.
my wife goes there mostly to dance and
Mhm.
to socialize a little, but it's just how I feel about it's not just specifically the Red Party. It's just that kind of scene party. You know what I mean? People go, they stand at the bar, or they dance, or it's. I think it's pretty typical of most alternative or goth type parties. I mean, I
Mhm.
don't think I missed it. I don't think I missed a point there.
Yeah, right. I thought maybe it was about the bands in the scene more than the parties. Is that
Well, there's that too. It's the same. I go and I listen to the same beat all night. Just
right?
because people dance, and hey, that's cool, but that's not always for me. Like, I like some variation in my music. I don't
Mm.
just want to hear a beat and like hearing people, like rough vocal over stuff, or sing badly over stuff, or
Mhm.
you know just sometimes I like a little variation. I mean, I'm pretty prolific, and not as prolific as some, but like some people are like giving out a song a year. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it's like, you know, I
Do you
couldn't
ever
live.
consider being a DJ?
I have DJ'd. I've
Yeah.
DJ'd at Red Party. I've DJ'd online on Twitch. And I play stuff that I like, which is mostly it's going to be something I'm going to remember the next day. Like, I'm
Mhm.
going to remember that chorus. I'm going to remember something about that song. It's not just like throbbing 4/4 beat with somebody, barely singing over it. That's just not my thing.
You're gonna get it
Far
together
far
with IMX.
far be
Sorry.
it. I like
Yeah.
IMX or
Yeah.
Kite, or there's a lot of
I
bands that
liked
I
his old band, Sneaker
oh,
Pimps.
Sneaker Pimps. They
Yeah,
did
that
a
album's
great
great.
they did a great cover of that song from The Wicker Man. How
Mm,
Do.
I
They
don't
did a
know it.
great Yeah, they did a great cover of that.
I did interview IMX once for my old web TV show Twilight Vision, so go seek that out if you like IMX. In
Interesting.
in his hotel room, in his bed.
I mean, I wasn't a big fan like right off the bat. Like, he
Yeah.
had to get sold to me by somebody that I trusted. And now I really like his music. I just like stuff that's like musical.
Hmm.
Like, I hear a lot of things today that I just don't think are all that musical.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
I mean, it's just, it's a beat and
Yeah,
somebody saying words over it. And
yeah,
I'm just not, it's just it doesn't excite me.
right. Um, how do is there like a process to your songwriting? Are you always writing, or I want to say, I remember a couple months ago you were posting pictures about getting your studio back together and like checking wires and stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. Maybe in a year we'll have an album. And I feel like the album was just like came out like so quick. I was like, holy shit. Did you just
I'm,
have all
I'm,
this stuff in the barrel or
I'm
what?
all, yeah, I'm always working on music. It starts with the chorus. A lot of times I'll sing the chorus into my phone because I'll say, this is a catchy idea I just came up with. I'll sing it into my phone, and it's all stored on my phone. And when it's time to write a record or time to write a single, I go and I say, okay, what germs do I have in here that I should move forward with? They're not all great. They're not always all going to be great, but there's some gems in there. And then I just work from the chorus out, because you don't have a song if you don't have a chorus that people remember.
And I know this album just came out, but have you written anything since? Are you working on anything new?
I'm actually working on this. Since I just put out this record, I'm working on something a little different under what I'm calling it right now, Obsidian Disco.
Mm.
But it's different than Black Rose Burning. I'll just say that, but I won't say much more about it.
Cool. Yeah, I was wondering, like, obviously Black Rose Burning kind of is all within the same sort of genre, but you've been in all kinds of different genres in the past. Do you write in a certain mode, or do you kind of think like, oh, this song is for this project and this song is for this project?
I kind of think that way. I mean, I think, Serpentines is a very specific sound. Mighty Templars was a very specific sound. Black Rose Burning is a very specific sound. but I think they're all encompassing of like what I sound like.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you listen to them all back to back, you could say, okay, that's the same guy singing. You know, that's really the key linchpin to all of it is my phrasing, the way I sing, even 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 the way I approach the vocal or I approach a catchy chorus. None of my projects don't have a catchy chorus for the songs.
Sure.
That's just the way I write.
Would you ever like take some cool old songs that you wrote for other bands and like reinterpret them for Black Rose Burning or anything like that?
Probably not. I mean, I think it's a monster unto itself. And, you know, I have plenty of ideas for it. And, you know, I keep trying to extend my reach with every album a little more. I try to make it different. I try different beats. I try different sounds. And, you know, I think this new record is probably the best work I've done is this project. And I'm comfortable doing this project.
Nice. Well,
So,
go get some Black Rose Burning, blackroseburning.com. Anything else you want to promote for yourself?
that's all I pretty much got going on. I'm working my day job in building sets in a film, and I'm gonna move to another film after that. So I'm just eking in things in and out. We're doing a Saturday the 18th and Sunday the 19th. We're gonna be playing Spellbound Festival up in the Hudson Valley.
Oh,
It's
cool.
it's every close to Halloween. You could find that information on our website. We'll be playing both days.
Who else is
if it,
playing?
it's just we're the only band.
Oh, okay.
The rest is like fire performers and blah blah blah. But they'll have a little bar set up there, like a little
Are they
outdoor.
gonna put a Black Rose on fire for you?
I hope not.
No.
That would be kind of corny. I mean, it's like a fun little festival, and during the day it's the family, and at night some people come and hang out. And this year they're gonna have like a little bar that they make, and we're gonna play in the bar a couple times a day.
You're gonna come back to the West Coast? Russell wants to know. If you book him.
Possibly. You know, my drummer Lou just moved to Detroit. So we're
really?
Yeah, he's in
Oh
Detroit.
no.
Well,
So how's that gonna work?
it's gonna, you know, he comes back. He has a lot of family here, so he has to come back fairly regularly to visit his sister and niece and brother-in-law. And so, I mean, you know, we've been doing this for years together. So it's like, if we have a gig, we'll get together and we'll rehearse the day before. If I have tracks, I'll send them out to him. He'll cut them, send them back. Or if he'll come out here for the weekend and cut tracks at my studio. It's not a big deal. I mean, we're old men. It's like, we're not going to be doing a world tour unless somebody's paying us at this
Right.
point. And to
Yeah.
answer Russell, we'd like to get back out there at some point.
Yes, if you book them, they will come.
It's just like it's just like the money, you know. The money's not there. The money's not there for bands that are bigger than us. So, I mean, you know, I lose money to go out on the road, and
Yeah.
it's not like I mind that, but you know, I have other priorities. I'd rather record more music than spend my time on the road playing to 25 or 30 people a night at this
Sure.
point. You know, it's just the reality of the situation.
You have any words of wisdom for anyone in bands that are just starting out? Don't do it.
Go to school like your parents told you. That's all I can say. No, just be conscientious of your songwriting, because long after you're playing, your songwriting can make you money. And even if your fingers are broken, if you can write a good song, you might be able to make some money off of that. You know, I used to want to be a rock star and play the big stages and everything, but my songwriting, actually writing songs that were placed in commercials or TV shows, have made me more money than ever gigging.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. That's a good segue into promoting myself. Go follow
Pop
my band
Perversion.
Pop Perversion. Pop Perversion. Apparently, Gmail just disabled all my accounts because I guess I I'm against their terms of service for having the word perversion, which
Well,
just means the distortion of, guys. What the hell?
you were pop and you were perverse.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a balance of ugly and pretty. That's what I'm all about. And Brian Biglione, who has been a contributor to George's music, plays on half of this album.
And he's a great drummer.
Yeah,
He's
I
a
mean,
really
favorite living drummer.
fantastic drummer.
Yeah, incredible. From the Dresden Dolls, of course. Let's see what else I got here. My documentary, I'm working on it. Lives of Slimes of Dookie Flyswatter. If you want to follow that at Dookie Doc. I know. So, okay. I wanted to ask you this because you have a little bit into the horror community and all that. Did you ever hear of Haunted Garage?
I've heard of them. I've never seen them.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard of them.
So I remember one time I was wearing an Impaler shirt and you recognized them. I was very impressed with you.
That's actually how I met you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you were wearing a Impaler shirt, and I was like, you know those guys?
Actually, Impaler was on this show. So go check it out.
On.
One of the first episodes.
I mean, I know I don't really know them, but I'm acquainted with them from the record store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's how I knew. That's how I ever even knew of those guys, because they had the record with him with the meat.
Mm-hmm. If we had brains, we'd be dangerous.
Yeah,
I think.
it was in our store, and I was like, this is wild.
Yeah, I love Impaler. I've done some stuff with them. Been listening to them. I mean, I was trading videos with Bill back in the early 2000s, late 90s back then.
Yeah.
So I've been friends with him for a long time.
I mean, I knew him in the late 80s.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't, like I said, I don't really know him per se.
Right.
But I was acquainted with him.
Wake Up Screaming.
Yeah, through the store. And that's how I met you.
Yeah, that's so cool. Last night, if you like horror, rock and roll, of course I have a whole show about Gwar, and we did a show last night, a tribute to a recently deceased fallen scumdog and current member since the 90s. Bobby Gorman was there with me to help go through his life story and present some interview footage that nobody has ever seen before. So if you're into that kind of thing, go check it out. If you like monster bands, my last episode was about this crazy band I went to college with called the Nuclear Power Pants, and his current project, Evil Sword. This is a blurry picture I took of him in his glow-in-the-dark neon dinosaur monster suit from 20 years ago. So it's very interesting. I'm telling you guys, even if you don't know the guests, you're going to find a fascinating conversation if you go through the archives. We've had... Sean Templar has been on here, and Impaler, and Tibby was a guest, actually, if you want to learn more about X Possibles and her history and my history with her, and a whole Charles Lincoln, who we just talked about in our music video for Sexy Satan, which I don't think, I don't know if it had a project name or anything. It was kind of just this weird one-off thing. But yeah, go through the archives, guys. You will hear a story about Trent Reznor hitting on our friend Sean Templar. So go check it out. Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch that one. Thank you, guys.
Russell, thank you for being here. Serena, thank you.
Yes, I'll see you and probably her at the Red Party next month, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, in next week, or every second Saturday at the Mercury Lounge, we're there.
A week from this Saturday.
Unless we're playing, we're there. So, yeah.
We're working. I had to work the last one.
Yes, I know. Your wife told me. I was like, "Where's George? He's not in his back corner." Like someone else invaded it from you, and it was weird to me.
It happens.
Yeah.
People love getting in there when I'm not there.
Yeah, that's a nice little corner. I hate it for trying to take pictures, but it's a nice little nook.
Well, I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, and thank you.
Since we're done, I'm gonna now go to bed because
yes,
I'm at work at 6 a.m.
I know. So. I kept him past his bedtime, so everyone go give Black Rose Burning some likes. Go give this video some likes if you haven't liked, and share and subscribe and help me fight the algorithm.
Yes, sir.
And I will see you next time. I don't have any episodes booked right now, but go follow me at VonPod Official on all the things, and you will be the first to know.
Like, share, subscribe.